All right, Final Four challenge coming up, the biggest one of the season. I win this challenge, I think I win the game. I think it's likely that if Dom or Henry wins, I win the game. The only one that cannot win is Rachel, because I'm gone if Rachel wins. I think my odds are looking pretty good to make it through, but we'll see. Big day.
We made it. We're finally here in the final freaking four. Final four. I mean, who's shocked? Not really me. Come on. With Aiden and my tactics, this was bound to happen. But people know. People know that we're roommates. And that's fine. That doesn't seem to be too much of an issue because people know that no matter what happens this week, we're going to be voting together. We seem to have Dom on our side. I'm 99% sure about that. And so no matter what Rachel does, she's going to go home. Luckily this week, Aiden said he would throw me the challenge because I gave him the immunity last time, so he'll throw it to me this time. So if one of us win, we should be good. I mean, I'm putting 110% effort into that. I am going to win this challenge 100%. I'm going to do it on my own, but if Aiden needs to help me out, he can give it to me too. That's fine. Makes him look a little iffy at the end if he throws it to me. So that's good for me because you have to start thinking of the end game now.
In order to convince Henry to let me win the Final Five Assassin immunity, I did promise him that I would throw the Final Four immunity challenge to him if it was us in the Final Two. But there's absolutely no way I'm doing that. If I'm in the finals with him, I'm going for it. I am not throwing it. That would be stupid for me. That would be the only time I broke my word to him, but it's at the end. I'll have to do what I have to do.
It's challenge day. It's challenge day, and it's time for the final immunity challenge. I'm so freaking pumped. Let's go. Here's the plan right now. One or Aiden and I have to win the immunity challenge, which means that it'll go to me. And if that happens, I have a little tactic up my sleeve. Aiden really wants Dom to go with us, and I don't want that to happen. He wants Dom to go all the way. But I really want Rachel, so I might think of pulling out a secret sneaky move if this is the case. Hopefully it'll give me some brownie points with the jury. If I get the immunity, I'm going to give my immunity necklace in the tribal council in front of all the jury to Rachel. And that will be pretty big because it'll, one, save her. Two, Aiden's not going to vote me out. He can't vote Rachel. He's not going to vote himself out. It's going to force him to go for Dom. I'm going to go for Dom. I'll have talked to Rachel beforehand. She'll go for Dom. And so hopefully Dom can go. So that's the plan. I just need to perform the immunity challenge. I'm super pumped. I'm so excited. But I just need to finish strong. So that's how we're going to do it. See you out there.
If he actually thinks I'm going to throw the final immunity to him, he's an idiot. He's just like the rest of them.
Welcome back, survivors, to your final immunity challenge. Aiden, I'll start by taking it back. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, as you can see, there's nothing here. You'll have to make your way all the way around campus. We have 3 different clues set up for each of you, each with tiles corresponding to something that you'll bring along your way. Each of these clues will be the hint to a location you need to go to complete part of this challenge before going to the next clue. You need to go to all 3 of these locations, collect a tile piece to place to be able to help you solve the final puzzle. Upon completion of these 3 tasks, you will receive a 4th clue telling you where to meet for the final location to finish this challenge. Are you ready to run? You can complete these challenges in any order. All of these are clues that will tell you the location to go. Any location is open to go first, second, or last. It is up to your discretion. You can work in pairs, you can communicate with each other. However, that may slow you down in this challenge, so it's up to you to strategize for that. Besides that, I wish you the best of luck, immunity, and a chance to plead your case to the jury in the final tribal council. I hope we're all prepared for this challenge. Let's have fun, and I'll see y'all at the end. Survivors ready? Go!
On this day, the sky opened up, signaling the road to come. Return to this location or survive. Okay.
The windows of Midnight overlook this lot, and parked here is where the next part of the challenge should be fine. Okay, near Lau. All right,
We forgot.
Parked right here is where the next part of this challenge shall be. Placing it down. Yep, and you have to get it from there across to the other side. And you'll just, yep.
Aiden, when you get here,
He's got Aiden in his ear.
Get behind the ball and then throw it in.
One or all?
All of them have to go in. 3 in. And you have to go pick it up. Oh. Like.
oh!
Okay, alright. I think we're good. Okay, bye.
Nice.
Aiden's good. Aiden gets it before Rachel, even though she started before. Nice. It could be like from that one.
Yeah.
Concrete thing.
When the strange sky to open up, signaling the road to come, return to this location where your survivor eventually began, but be sure to run. God, I don't want to run.
Come on, you gotta lead it. There you go.
Stand behind one of the balls, throw them in. The tile is your marker. You can't stand in front of it, and then that's the tile you have to get.
Nice. Henry's got 2 in.
It's down spending already. Oh.
You got it, you got it. Nice.
I feel like all the people in the last episode of Survivor looking for the advantage and walking.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is hard.
It's gonna be like that much. And Aiden arrives at the second challenge.
Okay, stand behind the ball. The tile is your marker. You can't step in front of it while you're shooting and throw the balls into the bucket. If you get all three in. Yeah. Oh, take your tile. It was your marker.
All right, and Aiden's done with his second one. Abandoning his papers. He's got their location figured out already.
You're good. Take your time. Like, go. I need to get these together. Oh, are you done with everything?
yeah.
There'll be courtyard.
Do I? Oh,
No, you have to take action to read it.
Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Where's the
No, that's one that you need.
Where's the
I put
letter?
it in there. I put it in there.
No one else has found a tile yet. I got Aiden right here.
He cannot help you on it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't talk
So
to
you
each other
can't
during
talk
the
to
puzzle.
Aiden, I'm hanging up because you can't help me do the puzzle. Wish you luck, buddy.
Henry, the first person back working on his puzzle. It's a 3-word puzzle. Let's see how fast.
Henry, do you know this person?
Yeah, it's my roommate. Hi, Steph. I'm at the very end. Thank you.
It's a good friends and family visit.
There's a few different words that could be written out with this phrase. Was that intentional? No, definitely. But it does make it more fun and challenging.
I don't know. I still, I'm not quite sure how to do this in a situation. Honestly, I still prefer to get out than that. But feel more threatened by them than both roommates. I don't know. Like, it's definitely cool that they hid it from us for that time, but I don't know if they played as skillful of a game as some of the other players here. I know that there were definitely times talking to Aiden when, like, for example, the Mengo, they thought they had us, but it was pretty obvious that they were lying. Aiden was like, I haven't talked to Henry all week. And he was like, well, I knew that was a lie.
There's actually 5 extra.
Do the simple cat?
Nope.
Nope.
Henry's first guess.
Simple cat.
Dang.
I do like that.
Do the simple cat? Yeah, I'm crushing it.
It's the challenge like a club we do.
Survivor Club, you want to join next
You got it. Nobody's coming.
Openly communicate.
Can I steal his answer when he gets here?
Well, I don't really think
need
that
to
would
He gets
help.
it first.
You got it.
We made a pact that he won't. That's why I gave him immunity last week. Please, you thought I could have lost? You thought I would have lost that? God, no. I gave it up.
You don't
See
need
how
him.
this
You
one
can do it.
ends up.
You can do it on your own.
Scraping through. Looking hard in here. Trying to keep himself in this challenge. And he's got one. Aiden's got one. Hey, Aiden, because he's been talking with Henry, Aiden knows where to go without even having to read the clue. Making his way to the final destination.
Right. Remember, give it to me at the
That's,
end.
this is you talking, Henry.
That's all I want to say.
I was like, what?
That's wedged in there so good. There you go. Alright, now we have to do this.
Oh shit. Still another challenge.
Where is the water?
You have to read it. You have to read it.
I know. This is where my Georgetown, lack of Georgetown specific navigational knowledge comes from. Parking lot is there.
We've seen Aiden live through similar challenges like these before. Will he do the same to this one?
It's Survivor related, correct?
Respond to Evan. It's important.
It is Survivor related. You'll know as soon as you get it.
3 words in Survivor related. That's all we're saying.
The rest of this challenge proved to test your physical ability, making you run all across this campus, solving different clues, completing different challenges. Now here, it'll test your mind, trying to make you come up with different word combinations to solve this puzzle.
Change up that word that I had down there by accident.
I know.
What would Kevin say?
Alright, I'm Kevin. I want to call Peyton. That's where Rachel threw her frisbee on the ground. Over there.
Slope matched it.
It is not not slow patched it. That is incorrect.
Jumbo tilt speed?
That is not the phrase.
Okay, Kevin could not go this way.
Arriving to the final word puzzle. Able to start on his part.
Third person to arrive.
Third person to arrive.
Are we allowed to tell him how long everyone else has been here or no?
I'll just
20.
We're not allowed to talk, that's the thing.
Yeah, you guys can't communicate to each other. I'll take these moves. Our cameraman Evan completely out of breath from this challenge. I was like running with him. You were running with him at loud?
Okay, yeah, you're good. I'm just making sure everyone has all of them.
You can stop recording, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, everyone has all of theirs.
Everyone coming into this final part of the immunity challenge except for Rachel. Unknown where she is except to us, which I will not pronounce out. The rest of everybody working on this final puzzle. It is a 3-word phrase.
Ooh.
Any of you can get
yeah, sorry, I
in
probably
an
should tell you that.
instant.
Survivor-related 3-word phrase.
Survivor-related 3-word
That's all the
phrase. We've
information.
already had a few others tried out, such as do the simple dog.
Excuse me, it was cat, actually.
Oh yeah, cat.
Feed with a P.
Feed with a P.
Eat shot.
There's some good ones in here.
There are so many anagrams.
Yeah, this is like actually
The lady looks.
Exactly how we drew.
You'll know it as soon as you get it.
I feel like you should have been a runner. Like this cinematic mode on being a runner. Someone would have gotten the
I would have been dead.
main character.
Yeah.
Many different words.
Claim the spot.
I think he has it. What is the phrase?
Claim the spot.
Claim the spot! In an instant!
2 minutes!
The challenge in 2 minutes. And wins final immunity. And a chance to claim his spot and plead his case to the jury.
Someone.
Oh, it's over, Rachel. Yes. I won. Dom got it. Whoa. Interesting.
No way. Wait, can I put you on speaker with Rachel and Dav? Okay. So he said Dom came and solved in a minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fast.
That's impressive. That's a great comeback.
Go, Dom.
Yeah, it was really good.
Should we come to Ville B?
Yeah, do you guys want to come over and meet us here?
Yeah.
Alright, you can come meet us here. We'll do the crowding. We'll head out.
Dom, congrats, individual immunity. A guaranteed spot at final tribal council. Guaranteed chance to plead your case to the jury for the first title of Georgetown, sole survivor. For the rest of you, tribal council tonight, where one of you will be the final member of our jury. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you there.
Man, this was I feel so good. I never expected this in a million years to win this challenge during it. Going in, I felt decently confident, but during the challenge, my confidence level just shrank so low. I was literally bottomed out. I think less than 1% confidence at any point that I would win this. I started off fine. I honestly think my cardio skills are decent, so I thought a challenge where you're riding around might favor me a bit. But first challenge, tossing balls in the bucket, super easy. Second challenge, find a Scrabble tile in all of Levy Esplanade. Not so easy. Not so easy in the slightest. And I think I sat there for over half an hour. At some point, I'd just given up. I saw Henry get one, and I saw another challenge to do, and I did not know where the parking lot was. I'd never heard of this parking lot in my life, never walked by it. So I was just so turned around, and they'd already done that. So once Henry found it, I'm I had pretty much given up on this challenge. I'm like, oh, Henry winning's not the worst thing in the world. At one point, Rachel was basically just like, Dad was filming and Rachel was like giving her jury pitch on film, and I just like sat there overhearing her, because at that point that information was probably more important to me than taking my like 0.1% chance of winning this challenge. So just sat there listening to her, pretty much not even searching. I walked around the same area like 10 times. Eventually I just checked a branch and it was there, and I'm like, honestly I could have found that pretty quickly. I think in the first challenge it was also on a branch, so if I had thought of that, maybe that would have saved me a ton of time. But anyway, did not. I still had to go to the parking lot, which navigation itself took forever. And then I get there and I have to push this ping pong ball with a water gun. I'm like, oh, at first I thought you just had to get it out of the initial parking spot. I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. Because Aiden and Henry had told me, they're like, oh, that one, super easy, like no worries at all. It was not. I had to get it all the way to the other side of the parking lot. Getting there was the hard part, because I had never heard of this parking lot. I tried while we were searching for tiles to kind of get like a hint to where it was. So I basically started like asking Henry and Aiden. I'm like, oh, which one of the other challenges did you go to first? And they're like, oh, the ball one. That's what Henry said. Or Rachel's like, oh, the water gun one, but didn't tell me the location. I was really hoping she told me the location. Didn't happen. Was worth a shot. But anyway, I feel like it gave me like war flashbacks, the water gun challenge, because I was just suddenly back at like 7th grade basketball, where I was so out of shape in 7th grade. And every time at the end of practice, everyone on the team would have to shoot free throws. And for every free throw you missed, you'd have to run a killer, like basically free throw line back, half court back, full court back. And our team was not good at basketball. So we were missing a lot of free throws and I was just dead. I hated practices because it was just like straight cardio and you get yelled at. And that's what I felt like. It was, I'm sprinting back and forth in this parking lot like a madman. Meanwhile, Henry and Aiden are staying there and have like 30 minutes to work on this puzzle. I'm like, I'm doing this for nothing. Eventually I finished and I was shocked. I kept checking my phone every like 3 minutes in this challenge, basically like, oh, someone's finished by now, I can just give up. And no one had finished. So I get to Ville B and they're still working on this puzzle. And suddenly I'm like, okay, maybe we do have a chance. And at a certain point on there, I think Henry and Aiden are right. You just like tunnel vision and you aren't able to break new ground with words. So coming in with like a fresh perspective really helped. And yeah, it was like 2 minutes. It was really cool because we tunnel visioned the very first challenge of this season, where we found our tile first on Levy Esplanade, but could not for the life of us solve this puzzle. And then the Hoya tribe was able to find their tile and finish it super quickly. So it was like a full circle moment where I go from not being able to solve the puzzle to being able to come from behind and solve the puzzle. And it just like wrapped up my Survivor game, put a nice bow on it. And it was awesome. So I was so proud of myself for winning this challenge. It was a lot of fun. The design of it was great, but it also puts me in a position of leverage again. And we'll see what happens with this vote. Again, it should be pretty simple, but there's always layers. There's always something to think about, and we'll see how we approach it. But this challenge was awesome. Still shocked that I won, just because I was like, I had given up at one point where I just started walking everywhere. But I guess never say never in Survivor, and I'm in the final 3. Let's go.
We did not win the challenge. I didn't win the challenge. Aiden didn't win the challenge. I mean, come on. I was so prepared. I got there first. I did the best at every single part of the physical challenges. And me, as the one person, I can't figure out the freaking brain stuff. Come on, that's my thing. It's supposed to be my thing. Why am I better at the physical stuff than the mental stuff in these challenges? It makes no sense to me, but I'll take it. Except it didn't work out super well today because Dom snuck in after Aiden and I were there trying to solve that puzzle for like 20 minutes. Dom snuck in and won it. He wins immunity. Rachel's going to go home. I mean, it sucks, but you know, it's got to happen. Rachel did reach out to me saying that she wants to talk, which I assume she's going to try and convince me to swap to Aiden. It's the only other option because I'm not going to vote me, and she doesn't want me to vote her, and I'm not going to vote Dom because I can't. That won't happen, but you know, I'll entertain the idea, keep her interested. We'll drag her along for a little bit. So I'm gonna do that and I'll get back to you guys. So Rachel talked to me, and it was a very interesting conversation. She had some really good points. And I'm thinking, one, I'm not switching on Aiden. That's number one. We all know this is how this is going to go, and that's fine. But let the record show that if I wanted to win this game, I could. And Aiden, you're going to be watching this back when the edit is coming out. You're lucky I saved your butt. You're lucky, because I could get you out right now. I could win the game. But, you know, friendship trumps the game. So that's what we've got to do. I'm sad that I know that I could have a guaranteed chance at winning if I probably... Rachel's right. If I take out Aiden, I pretty much win the game, which is fine. But I think I can win the game even if I don't do that. Because I think it shows... I don't think the jury's very happy with me right now. I don't think they have the best opinions of me as a person. I mean, I kind of have been a little villainous this season, but I think if I can show here that I am choosing my friend over backstabbing my friend, then hopefully I can try and right some of those wrongs and let them see me as a more neutral source, and then I can go and vouch for all the moves I've made with the jury, and hopefully that works out. So, we'll see. She made a really convincing argument. It's sad that she has to go, but that's just how the cookie crumbles.
I choked that challenge. Word puzzles and puzzles in general are supposed to be my specialty, and I made it to the end about 10 plus minutes before Dom, and I still couldn't get the job done. Unfortunately, I still think I'm good. I've talked to Dom. I have my argument for him for why he should keep me, and I think it's working. I've pretty much told him that Henry and I are, if we're both in the end together, we're most likely going to split votes, which I don't think, by the way. I think I'll get all the votes, but I got to say what I got to say. I think I should be looking good. He's seeming to buy it. He's afraid of the, like, Rachel pity vote that she sort of never did anyone wrong and people might vote for in the end. And what he's even more scared of is if it's him, Henry, and her, that Henry would get all the votes because Henry would get all the credit for all the moves that him and I made together. So I think that I should be looking good. Henry choked in the challenge just as much as I did. I know he's not the word puzzle guy, but he had about 20 minutes. I think just at a certain point, once you don't get it within the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, it kind of everything jumbles together and you're never going to get it. So Dom, when he saw it right off the bat, he was good for him. But it's just disappointing for me. I could have finished the season on a 3-game win streak, had a clear advantage lead, immunity lead on everybody else in the season. Now Dom's tied with me. I still think my social gameplay was much better than his and my strategic gameplay. So I think I should be good to still beat him in the end, assuming I get there, which I think I will. But just unfortunate choke job. One of my only blunders of the season.
Okay, so this Final Four vote, I want it to be straightforward, and I just want it to be 3-1, Rachel goes home, and it's me, Henry, Aiden, and we can battle it out in the final 3, and we each have our own claim in the game. And I think that's what Aiden and Henry want to, but I don't know for sure, especially after last night when Matt started talking about how, oh, if they're together, that's 2 people in the final 3, they probably split votes. That's my thinking, that's my hope, but if they internalize that and want to turn on each other at Final Four, today, there's not much I really can do to stop that because I only have 1 vote and I would lose my leverage because I wouldn't be able to take Rachel out. So I need to convince Henry and Aiden that none of us have any chance against Rachel in the Final Four, because as long as Aiden and Henry vote with me, Rachel goes home. Rachel, I don't know where she stands. I think she will see where I'm coming from if I say, I think my best chance of winning this game is not against you. But I don't really want to say that to her because then, so we had planned out for a while, Rachel and I, that when we get to Final Four, it can be a 2-2 split, and then whoever gets voted for can battle it out in the challenge. So if Rachel is still sticking to that, I'm not sure if she is, but if she still wants to vote with me, it's in my best interest to act like I'm voting with her so she doesn't scramble and try to break Henry and Aiden apart. Because if she does that, then I'm in trouble because I can't get Rachel out of this game anymore, because I would vote Rachel. Rachel would be voting for Henry or Aiden, and if Henry and Aiden can vote against each other, Rachel's the one in the position of power, and she goes into the final 3 having controlled the final 4 vote, and I think has a very good case to win this game. So I need to convince Henry and Aiden of that. Hopefully that happens. And if I really feel like locked in that those 3 are going to the like Henry, Aiden, me will be final 3. If I feel locked in that they'll vote Rachel, then I think I have to tell Rachel when we meet this afternoon and tell her that she is probably going home, because that's gonna be a hard conversation to have. It's not fun to just like tell someone to their face like, hey, we're all voting for you, but I feel like it's more humane than what I've done the last couple of votes, which is basically like acting like I'm 100% locked in on with Matt, 100% locked in with Maggie until we get to the vote, and then just having to cut them. Because same with Alexa, the vote before. I've done that 3 straight votes now, and it's not fun at all. It's hard to like look someone in the eyes at tribal council knowing you're gonna vote them out. I don't really want to do that with Rachel, especially when there's no like advantages to play around. But I need to make sure that Henry and Aiden are locked in before that, because yeah, I still think Rachel probably beats me at the end, or at least it would be a lot, I don't want to say a lot closer, because Henry and Aiden certainly could beat me too, but I like my odds against Henry and Aiden a lot more than I'd like them against Henry and Rachel or Aiden and Rachel. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna meet with Henry and Aiden, talk it through, and then we have final tribal council. I'm so excited to just not have to be like constantly having multiple layers of thought in my head as far as, oh, I can't say this to this person. Just be able to like come clean, no more lying, everything's on the open, and we can just like have normal conversations without always having to like have some ulterior motive in our head. Because for 10 straight weeks with these people, it's been like, there's, even if you like are just having a normal conversation, there's always that thing in the back of your head where it's like, oh, what are they thinking about me in the game? And to have that be done will be absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so excited for that. So just a few more hours, and I've had the best experience with this game, but I'm very ready for it to be done.
Your number 1 goal is for one of the That's so disappointing. I thought that everyone was here to try their best at the game.
We are there to try our best, but
No, you're just here to help me.
that's not true.
You just told me that your number 1 goal is that one of you wins, so you don't care that you're going to end not win.
I don't think
You just win.
I did say the same thing.
No, he's playing to win.
We're in the same one.
You can win, and you know that. Like, you would-
I think I can win. I think he can win too.
He's not beating you.
Why not?
You are beating
I don't know about that. Sure. Okay. Unity wins. Sorry. Who's on the first one? I backstepped along.
Yeah, because you like that makes it going home.
I wouldn't say that. Everything we did was great together.
So does it got to be on the journey.
I'm sorry. I am.
Yeah,
I know that.
I wish I was playing the game with people who were playing their best game for themselves. This is not the case.
Okay. If you feel that way, then there's nothing I can do to change that. I'm sorry. This is how it has to be.
Like, Dom, it makes sense. Like, I don't blame Dom because it's like, I can see why you want to go get it from 2 days for yours with the rights, but it's not really strange.
Okay. I don't have very much to say to that, but again, I'm sorry. I thought I told you before the vote. We're good.
That was literally a perfect throw.
You said Evan.
Go get the phone! Let's go! Welcome, contestants, to your final Elimination Tribal Council. We'll get started with Dom winning the challenge day How big is that in a tribal council where you know 1 out of 3 possible people will go home tonight?
I think it's huge. It definitely gives me leverage as far as being able to pick who I want to next week. I think it's mostly my decision as far as who's the next week. That's why I'm thinking about what's happening.
So Aiden, how do you make that choice of who you decide to vote for, who you decide to try to bring to the end? What is that?
At this point, for Dom, it's choosing who he wants to sit next to at the end. And so I obviously pitch my case. I'm sure everyone else pitched their case. And that's just how it went. You have to hope that your pitch makes sense and that people stick by their word. Told in the past or today or whatever.
So going off of those pitches, Rachel, did you have a pitch to Dom that you tried to convince him of?
Yeah, I pitched to Dom and Henry. I think the vote was between me and Aiden, and I the biggest threats, I think,
Well, okay.
yeah, but I mean, I think that Aiden is a bigger threat than I am. He's one of the new challenges. I think the roommate twist is really impressive. He played with us for a while there. He did a really good job playing with us. And I think that when you trace back a lot of the votes from where they can really good case of how he influenced most of the people that are there on the jury's votes.
Interesting. So Dom, hearing that pitch, how does that impact your decision tonight? Do you go based on trying to finish out the game that you've played and completing your story, or go based on the biggest threat or article that's won?
I think they're both aligned. I mean, I think narratively, the decision I make tonight makes sense as far as following where my game's built up to. I'll be flat out honest that I've told Rachel right now that I will be voting for her tonight. Obviously, she's still pitching, and I respect her decision. Still willing to listen, but
Yeah, I'll jump in and say that Rachel did come up to me and ask me to vote off Aiden. And yeah, like Dom said, I told her that I would also not be doing that tonight. She seems to think that Aiden is a lock to win this game. And I'm not so sure that's the case. I think things will be revealed in the final 3 that will even the playing field a pretty fast enough.
Interesting. So you said in the last tribal council that your pitch to Dom to bring both of you was that you believe that you and Aiden will actually split votes in the end. How do you actually think that's changed in the past couple of days, or is that something that was just said to forward it after the game?
I mean, I think it's inevitable when you have 2 people who are pretty locked and solid. Again, I mean, Aiden and I definitely do have differentiating facts, but every move we made together throughout the whole season, whether it was pre-merge, post-merge, anything. So yeah, we're kind of like a package deal. So I feel like the thing that's going to really differentiate us is what we say at the final 3 if we make it there. And I think that that's what's really going to come to light, and that's going to be where people see the differences and where, for Dom's perspective, the votes could potentially be split.
Interesting. Aiden, do you agree with that assessment that it's going to entirely depend on your performance at the final tribal council?
Yeah, that was sort of my pitch to Dom. I felt like there's no way to know if the jury respects the game that I played and Henry played. And so, if the jury respects it, then there's a very decent chance that votes get split between Henry and I. In which case, Dom could swoop in with just not even a simple majority of the votes and still win. And then again, the jury could not respect our gameplay, in which case, if that's the case, he wins easily. If it's against both of us. Whereas if it's one of us and Rachel, Rachel could easily swoop in and potentially get votes. And it's still, the chance of them respecting one of our gameplays is still, there's still one of us in there, and that one person would probably get all the votes if the jury really respects it that much. So, yeah.
I mean, as a future member, most likely, I think the differences
I think that analysis, and I think David will agree, of the game, but if we're talking specifically the assassin was, that is very much not the case. We can get into more detail later in the final tribal, but your assessment of who is playing what roles, not necessarily what you think is actually. And as opposed to me being happy with Aiden wins, again, Aiden and I had a pact from the beginning. We're making it to the final three, and then we'll duke it out from there. Obviously, we would be happy if one of us takes it home, and I think I say this, and also Aiden is very happy to say this as well, and you can see him nodding right there. So this is not just a thing that differentiates me of wanting Aiden to win. Obviously, I'm here for myself. If I make it to the final three, we'll duke it out. I want it for me, he wants it for him. But if he ends up winning, I'm not gonna win. And he would say the same thing.
Yeah, the additional piece is in a game where there's lots of backstabbing and turning on people. One thing that say the same two, same one all the time, is deny it. And that even extends to Dom. We made a pact last vote that we would vote as a three, get mad at it, and then as long as one of us won, we would also do each other. And so it's a chance for all of us to have all backstabbed someone at some point to say, when it came down to it, we all made each other bad, and we all made it to the end of some form of what.
It is interesting though. Rachel does bring up a very good point that in this game, perception could possibly be the reality. And in a case where you're entering the final tribal council, the jury's perception is entirely reality if you cannot convince them of that fact. So, Dom, how does this idea of perception versus what actually happened come about?
Well, it's huge. We can see the moves we've made and think them one way, but if they don't come off the way we thought them, it doesn't mean anything. And I think beyond maybe what Aiden has just said, and as far as Rachel's case, yes, Aiden's played a really strong game, and Henry has also played a really strong game, but specifically responding to your point about Aiden maybe being the biggest threat, I think Aiden definitely took over early merge as far as making those moves. So I think later in merge, it was me and you, and if I'm sitting next to you, we share those same moves. And I think as far as having a place to differentiate my game, I think that's probably
And I'll hop in there again and say that I think I played a bigger role than everybody thinks. And you know what? That's the beauty of this game is when you get down to the final three, is that you can reveal everything that you did without having to hesitate and worry about what other people are going to think about you in the future. There's no more votes or vote outs. Everybody's made it to the end, so you can really reveal everything. And I think that's the beauty of final tournaments.
Yeah, I just think if Henry is worried about how the jury is viewing him, like he thinks that it's not good if I don't have his performance, having a big move on his resume that he can play just for himself, like he would have to eliminate, be a really easy way to have something that was very clear that was his music he can play in front of the jury, and that way he's not leaving it up to however he's playing or the council, it's going to be elected to the jury.
I think that's a really good pitch, but I also think at this point, everything you say is a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it might be true, and it might dictate, yeah, that's the move we want to make to keep you in the game, but if you keep you in the game and you just convince all of us right here to keep you in the game, that suddenly elevates your go. So, yeah.
And the other thing that makes Rachel a big threat is she, of all four of us, I would say she has hurt the least amount of people. She hasn't really backstabbed anyone. So if people were more like the nice game player,
It's a big response to that, Rachel. What are the phases for? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that
You did vote out Matthew last week, so.
yeah, I'm confused about why that is the second.
So, going off of this vote, the tiebreaker, I want to talk about this. Does this have any impact onto what the vote possibly could be? Are there any ideas about what the tiebreaker could be? And does this impact the decision at all? Because if somebody does win that tiebreaker, then it's also something. So, how does this impact the decision?
From my perception, there's not going to be any for that.
sounds like most of us are set on our decision. Not much is going to change that has not already been come out. So it's all the same to you all, unless there's any other final pitches, any other final thoughts. You guys vote.
This is my last time casting a vote this season. Probably the least suspenseful one, but you played a great game, but probably too similar to mine. You're the biggest jury threat mark in this game, we'll say that. And you played a great game. Absolutely no hard feelings.
This won't be the only time that I'll be writing down your name this week. Congrats.
Made it this far. I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna move on. I think it's a mistake by Dom, but we'll see how it goes.
We're finally here. Is that rude if I do that? I'm getting a new one. I don't want to be a jerk. Rachel, if you're watching this back, that was supposed to be nice, not moon. Oh, yeah. We made it. We finally made it. Aiden and I said from day one, we made a pact to make it to the final three. And after, what, 10 grueling weeks of this challenge, we both made it to the end. We've got one final push, and all I've got to say is, Aiden, you're freaking going down.
Votes are in. Once the votes are cast and the decision is final, the person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. There is no room for an end to be played tonight, so wish you all the best. First vote. Rachel. Second vote. Third vote. Aiden. The 11th person voted out in the final number. That's 3. That's enough. Change it. Rachel? Travis voted. The final 3? No, is that? Congratulations. You've made it to the furthest point you can get to in this game. Up to your ability. Now, the power will shift over to the jury. On Wednesday night, they will cast all of their votes for the first Georgetown Sole Survivor. I wish you all the best of luck. You can vote coming up with your pitches.
It sucks to be voted out, but I'm proud of the game I had, and I made a lot of friends, had a good time. I'm excited to join the jury. I'm excited to give Emily and Matt a big hug and do jury gossip with them. And yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should be really mean during my final tribal council speech, so I guess we'll see.